unless he's making a certain amount, or unless he's able to provide for himself and is making money. Well, newsflash, baby, I'm high maintenance because I'm the one that's maintaining it. It's me. So how can I come and live the life that I'm living and I'm enjoying it to come and be suffering with you? Does it make sense? Why would I come from up here to come down here to meet you at your level? Thunder fire every idiot that wants me to do.
Hello, guys. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Woman Exodus. How are you guys doing? And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section below. Let me know that you're listening. Shout out to all my exes in the chat. I really appreciate you guys for always tuning in. And always, if you have any tips or suggestions, please feel free to send those to lexuschannel@gmail.com. By the way, I had, my followers are so lit. I had one girl today send me quite a bit of story ideas, and she also sent a list of links that really highlighted her suggestions. So I think she said I need to do one on the Down and Dusty, and she included a bunch of news stories that highlighted exactly what she was talking about. So shout out to her. That really makes it extremely easy for me to create content based off of you guys' ideas when you send examples and things like that. So thank you. If you're listening, thank you, listener, for sharing that with me. Stay tuned. I will do that story very soon. You'll see that momentarily. Also, while we're talking about housekeeping items, please, when you have a moment, follow the backup page, LexX, that's LEXEX. I'll link it in the description below, but y'all know trigger nakers, trigger Tyrones are harassing us and are trying to silence me and stop the movement, and y'all, I ain't got time for it. One naker said that he was going to flag my page. I said, well, I'm just going to keep coming back, y'all. I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to make a backup page. If I need to go to Patreon, I'll do that, but you're not going to silence me. And here's the thing though, I don't get paid off of this. This is not my income. Most of these Tyroaches, like Kitten Hill Samuels, like Tommy Sodomizer, like Minister Crap, they all depend on this for their livelihood. So you guys are playing a dangerous game, because if we want to be petty, if divestors want to be petty, I can tell all my subscribers to flag their channels, and then guess what? Those nakers are going to be homeless, because that's what they use to feed their families, and that YouTube is what they use to provide a roof over their head. I'm not that. I have a very lucrative career, very lucrative career in the healthcare industry, and I'm making very good money. So this is just a hobby for me. This is just a passion project. So you guys can keep flagging, keep being petty, and I might just tell my exes, tell my subscribers that we need to go ahead and initiate a flag party and be petty back. I don't want to do that. I don't want it to get to that. But listen, y'all keep trying to silence me. This is my freedom of speech. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I hate how anytime you say any type of critique and you share any type of criticism for these Tyrones, they get so triggered and so butthurt. Meanwhile, this whole time they've been calling us German Shepherds and have been calling us hair hats and stupid ass shit like that. But as soon as we clap back, then it's a problem. So fuck y'all. If you're listening, if you're hate watching, fuck you. Anyway, let's get to what we're here for. This is another installment of my daily series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the animals, monsters, and other crazy creatures in Blackistan. Again, I'll do this throughout the month of April. Then we'll level set and review the likes and views and comments to ensure that the engagement aligns with the level of effort for these. So today's installment is going to be about the high value unicorn. Okay, so high value unicorn, we're going to go into their profile, what they look like, their appearances, their behaviors. Then we'll look at one in its natural habitat and really examine this creature of Blackistan. So habitats, so the high value unicorn is rarely found. It's virtually non-existent. That's why they're called unicorns, because they're not real. They're these men who have like these very mediocre achievements. So, he might have a college degree, or the naker might be a manager at the Amazon warehouse, like Homegirl says in that TikTok that we love. Statistically, we know that apes are in prison. or unemployed. So even if they just make $40,000 a year, which isn't a livable wage, especially if you have children, that's an amazing accomplishment for them. The bar is in hell. So when they have these trivial accomplishments as men that are baseline in other communities, they are considered these high-value men, or also known as unicorns. So the one thing I will say, too, about high-value unicorns is they are identifiable by having, one major character flaw. And oftentimes, I shouldn't say one, because oftentimes it's paired with several. So he can be an attorney but could be beating his wife behind the scenes and have a secret family somewhere. Or he can be a doctor, and then behind closed doors likes to molest children, things like that. And when I think of a high-value unicorn, I think about the veterinarian that recently was exposed for being a pedophile. And then also it turned out that he was fucking the damn animals. He was engaging in bestiality with the poor puppies and animals that he was supposed to be taking care of. So in summation, a high-value unicorn they might have, more money, so they might have high value pockets, but very, very low values and very, very low defunct moral character. Notable high value men, we think of Dr. Dre, who pistol whips and regularly beats women. It's very, very well known and documented. That's why he's going through a divorce now, because he can't keep his hands off of his wife. Also, O.J. Simpson, who killed his Becky, and R. Kelly, who likes little girls. So-called high value because, they have some coin, they have some money, but it turns out they have very, 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 very low level of integrity and very, very negative characters. So let's get into a story of a high-value unicorn, and let's really watch him in his natural habitat. So I'm going to share this story about Stephen Broderick. Cynthia G recently covered a story, or did a video on him. He is a high-value unicorn who was a deputy, actually. He was a police officer and ended up shooting and killing his wife and her daughter from another marriage, and also her daughter's boyfriend as well. So let's watch this news story, then we'll unpack.
First tonight, the former Travis County deputy, accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife, his adopted daughter, and her boyfriend.
New at 6 o'clock, we're looking at the last 11 months when Stephen Broderick was first arrested. He was charged with sexual assault, and he lost his job. There was a divorce, protective orders, and then a judge decided he no longer was required to wear a GPS monitor.
KXAN investigator Jody Barr joins us live from outside the Travis County Jail. Jody, what have you uncovered?
Well, Robert, Sydney, again, Stephen Broderick is here inside of a jail cell in downtown Austin, here on a capital murder charge. We've dug through his criminal case file, and we found that the county was watching Broderick's every move with a GPS monitor, but that monitoring stopped about 5 months ago.
Let me see your hands. Stop right there.
A more than 18-hour manhunt for Stephen Nicholas Broderick ended along a 2-lane Travis County road Monday morning. Police say witnesses saw Broderick and thought he was suspicious, so they called 911.
You don't like your fingers on top of your head? Turn around, face away from me. Do it now.
This dash camera video shows Broderick didn't give officers any trouble, although suspected in the murder of his wife, daughter, and daughter's boyfriend, the former sheriff's deputy was armed. State and federal law enforcement spent the night searching for Broderick in Travis and Bastrop counties. SWAT ended up at this Bastrop County RV campground overnight.
And they had an announcement going on kind of a loop, telling him to come out with his hands up. His safety could not be guaranteed.
This man asked not to be named, but lived next door to Broderick. The man says he saw drones overhead and what he believed were snipers posted around the campground. SWAT eventually broke into Broderick's camper.
There was a flashbang that went off in the middle of that, where they were trying to get him out, basically. They assumed he was in there. It turns out, in the end, he wasn't.
Last June, the Texas Rangers charged Broderick, a Travis County Sheriff's deputy at the time, with sexually assaulting a family member and family violence. A judge ordered him to wear a GPS monitor, to have no contact with his wife or children, and set him free on bond with a protective order in place. But prosecutors say Broderick violated the protective order the very next month when he sent his wife an email and attached intimate private images of the pair. In November, the judge approved a plan to let the county remove the GPS monitor. Then Sunday, investigators say Stephen Broderick rammed his wife's car in a northwest Austin apartment complex, then shot and killed her, his daughter, and his daughter's boyfriend, both high schoolers. A witness grabbed Broderick's young son and got him to safety. Broderick then went on the run.
What you have now is a son that has lost a sister, lost a mother. His father's, I would assume, going to jail for life. And he didn't do anything to deserve all that. And so my heart just kind of goes out to him.
Well, Stephen Broderick isn't going anywhere for a while. The DA's office expects Broderick will not be set free again, and they think he could be held here at least through his trial under what's known as a preventative detention. Now, Broderick was a Travis County Sheriff's deputy when he was arrested last year. We found he also worked as a deputy in Bastrop County before that, and he was a Marlin City police officer when he first started in law enforcement. We've asked each of those agencies for personnel records related to Broderick's service. We haven't yet gotten those, but as soon as we do, we will update our reporting. From the Travis County Jail, Jody Barr, KXAN Investigates.
So, this is so sad. This is so sad. So this man was the walking, living, breathing definition of a high value, quote unquote, unicorn. And it's interesting because it says that he was a deputy, they said, so he was a police officer. So that's interesting because apes don't like to work, and they especially don't like to follow rules. They don't like to follow the law, so they hate police. So they don't tend to become cops. So this was a rare unicorn, and I'll show you his wife. I don't believe they showed a picture of her. Maybe they did, but I got a picture of the wife and daughter that he killed along with the boyfriend. Oh, so here's that ugly ape. Here he is, 41 years old, 5'7". Yeah, so he had a Becky. And most unicorns do. They will get a few coins, get an education, a profession, and then they'll run to Maria and Myling and Becky. And it turns out, like apes do, he was later fired because it turns out he likes to touch little girls. And he got fired for assaulting, sexually raping a child in his family. And once that happened and Becky realized that she got the same Tyrone that we always get, here's my thing, like she ended up divorcing him. She probably was surprised, but we know, as Black women, we know what we're dealing with, especially because the stats show that Black girls are likely to be sexually abused and even physically abused even before they're of adult age, so before the age of 18. And we know that violence against Black women is intraracial, meaning that it happens at the hands of these apes. So the likelihood of you encountering men like this, men who are pedophiles, men who are rapists, is very high in Blackistan. I think the stats is like 1 in 4 Black women have been sexually assaulted. So who do y'all think is raping them? It's all these apes that you encounter on a regular basis in Blackistan. And I think that Becky thought she was different. So they don't like to listen to us when we tell them that Tyrone's problematic. These unicorns are problematic. They have issues. They are toxic. They leave a trail of terror and tears everywhere they go and every relationship that they enter. But she found out the hard way. She found out that she got the same ape that we all get and ended up trying to divorce him. She also got a protection order against him, they said. And like I said, he lost his job, then he lost his family and went crazy. So I bet you there's probably commenters or viewers or even like the news media will say that this is such a tragic story. You know, what went wrong? This man had it all. But divested women know what's up. We're not surprised. We know all too well how apes act and how they interact and the damage that they cause. And it's like expecting to enjoy a ride on the Titanic in Blackistan. And I know I say that a lot, but it really is. I want you guys to really understand that it's like Divested Zealot says. I listen to her a lot. Shout out to her. I love her channel. But you're picking from a batch of rotten apples. So it's like going to the bicycle store and expecting to buy a car. You know, that doesn't make sense, right? Because they don't sell cars. When you go to Blackistan and expect to find a good man, you're not going to find one because they simply are non-existent. I remember also watching Miss Duchess, her channel, and she had a caller that said, yeah, you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. Why not just go to the needle factory? So why not just divest where there's tons of really, really, truly, authentically high value men with resources, with money, with values and integrity, and who will treat you well. So yeah, you know, the Black community is full of dysfunction and toxicity, and it's full of rapists and murderers. And she decided to mud shark, and look at her. You know, now her damn daughter from a previous relationship is gone due to her poor choices. So, you know, I don't know. I think that this is very, very interesting. You know, that's my message to Black women. I get a lot of Black women on my channel who aren't fully divested, and I would encourage you to please explore your options because you're going to grow very old quickly and gray, waiting to find one of these apes that even fit the profile of a unicorn. And like we said, once you do finally meet them, typically they have at least one, oftentimes several major character flaws like this. And yeah, you keep holding out on meeting men after men and ape after ape, hoping that you'll eventually find a good one. And that's a really, really quick way to be traumatized and to become bitter and to get ran through, you know? And I talk about my experiences just because I used to be embarrassed by my relationship history, but I know that the problem was not me. The problem was Blackistan and these apes and their toxic behavior and their toxic mentalities. So now I'll share my story because I know that if I'm potentially even just helping one person see the light and am able to connect with just one Black woman, you know, that's amazing and that's incredible for me. So I'm very vocal about my history, my problematic dating history when I was in Blackistan. So I remember, you know, and I've talked about this. So my Naker ex, my son's dad, was broke and abusive, and he cheated. So it's like, pick a struggle. How you going to be checking boxes in every single problematic area? How? Like, pick one. Pick one. You can't be broke, cheat, and be abusive. Pick one. Because you already hard to love because you ain't got no goddamn job. So you got your nerve to be cheating. Child. I also remember dating two Tyroaches that had secret children that they didn't take care of. Thank God I dodged bullets and didn't get involved in that. I remember meeting an ape, a few apes that were secretly married. And I'll tell you guys how all that information is publicly searchable on government databases to help you guys when I do the vetting video. I know y'all keep asking for this video, and I recorded it, but I'm just very, very reluctant to release it because my hubby is on there, and I just almost just feel like maybe that's something that I should only put behind a paywall. So only save that for my true supporters who really have really good intentions and who really are happy about my situation. It's too many trolls. Y'all be trolling, y'all be doxing people, y'all be hate watching. So I'm really reluctant to do that. But we did do the vetting video, and in that video I highlight how you can find out by searching court records. You can find arrest records, you can find police reports online, and you can also find if someone is married. And that's how I vetted my Brad, by doing that along with a few other things. But I remember also one guy told me he was married and was actually transparent. But then he wanted like a high five or a gold star because he was quote unquote honest and didn't lie. You see what I mean? Like I met him back in my Blackistan days when I was out at a bar with my cousins, and this fool told me that his wife had just suffered a miscarriage and they're separated. And he told me, after I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm not interested. I don't mess with married men. He was like, well, I could have lied. At least I was being honest. And it's like, fool. So you want a high five, you want a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to be. You're not even supposed to be dating. If your wife was pregnant and she lost the baby, wouldn't it make more sense for you to be at home consoling your poor wife as opposed to chasing women that are 10 years younger than you? But that's that nigger logic. Like, it's nonsense. I remember one guy that I dated, seriously, he told me he was a chef, and the nigger was a lunch lady out of high school. He was just warming up pizzas and shit and nachos and serving them at the local high school. He was a lunch lady, the high school cafeteria. And he was, and this one's so embarrassing, he was the aspiring rapper that I talk about briefly, and he was a thought too. And I remember he told me, I was young, y'all, so I was only like 22 at the time, so please be easy on me. But he told me that he had slept with 200 women, and my stupid ass thought I was going to be the last one and dated him. And of course, that didn't last for very long because he was caught cheating on Facebook. And I have stories for days. Several of these men that I talked about too, they qualify as your unicorns, your educated lames. They're so-called high-value men. But if it wasn't one thing, it was something else. You know what I mean? If it wasn't, he was having financial issues, then it was that he had a dirty peen and was out in the streets and was fucking everything with two legs, If it wasn't that, he had anger issues and he wasn't abusive, he had multiple children with multiple women all around the city. You know what I mean? So if it's not one thing, it's something else. And that's why it's so important to divest. I'm telling y'all, my husband is the very first bride that I ever seriously dated. And he just came like checking all those boxes and just came with it. I mean, a good man. So I talk about how he has a very lucrative business and the home renovation industry, and he is very modest about this, but he just last week he closed out a deal that's my damn salary, you know what I mean? So, and I make 6 figures, so he is killing it. He's also loyal and he's not cheating or mistreating me, and that's the problem with these men. The bar is so low with apes. Once they do make a little bit of money, if I was married to an ape, he probably have multiple children around the city. He probably would have a secret family somewhere. I would have to worry about getting STDs and shit inside babies. My man is not like that. Brad is not like that. He's very loving and caring. I don't got baby moms popping up everywhere. When I go and get a pap smear, I don't have to worry about the test results coming back abnormal or any infections or STDs. So it's a different world. So, I say all that to say that really this is just another illustration of why it's so important for you to open up your options. Do not limit yourself, lady. There are billions of people in this world. Why limit yourself to 6% of the population? So why limit yourself to these apes? The pickings are slim. You are not, the chances of you finding a man that is not in prison is very low. If he's not in prison, he's probably unemployed. If he's an ape, if he has a job, he probably only makes $30,000-$40,000 a year if you're lucky. And then on top of that, he'll probably have children everywhere. So you got to deal with baby mama drama. He'll probably cheat, just bring you stress and heartache. So I'm just saying, like, there's a wealth of different options out here, and we are doing ourselves a disservice by not divesting. We do not need to continue engaging in these unreciprocal relationships. Do not do it. You're being loyal to these men, and they out tasting the rainbow. So yeah, Stephen Broderick isn't a living, breathing example of these problematic unicorns, and a living, breathing example of why you need to divest and why it's important to explore your options. I don't know what is. All right. I love you guys. Until next time. See ya. Bye.
Fellas, if y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.